I'm going to try and make my page a little bit more user-friendly, particularly this page here. I don't really want to click on this view comments down here and have a button. What I want is a menu at the top of the screen that I can just press. So we're going to add a main menu to it. If we go to Bootstrap, have we got, if you want to follow along with tutorials, it is around about here, Bootstrap 4 navbar. So if you want to find how they work, you can have a look at that. So let's go straight into it. On my, and we're going to have this on the view page as well. So on my home page, the index, what I'm going to do is inside this container, I'm going to have a menu, and they call it navigation. And so the tab is nav. And I'm just going to close it off now, but we will be adding some attributes to that shortly. And the end tag is going to be right beneath it. And we're going to put some things in between here which will be on our menu. So really this is menu, end menu, but it's before our add comment. So what we're adding to it, and if you want to, you can go over to Bootstrap and just copy and paste the code from there, but it might be useful if you actually type it in yourself. But it can be rather difficult and easy to make spelling mistakes. So we're going to say that the class is equal to, now this is quite a lengthy one, we're going to type navbar. So that means a navigation bar. That's the first part of the style. It's going to say that I want a bar across the screen. And now I'm going to put a space, and then I'm going to do some more formatting on what or how the navigation bar appears. So, and particularly if it's on a phone, it's going to appear differently. So I'm going to say that the nav bar and how it expand is going to be a small. There's different size, large, small, medium, depending on the width of your screen, and we're always going to say, well, we want it on the small one. And then we're going to finish that off with what colour it is, and I'm going to say that the background is going to be light. So that is giving me a basic navigation bar, and if I save that, go back to the home page, whoops, that's the wrong one, doesn't really matter, go back to the home page and refresh the page, you should see that number one, the container's moved in, and there is a nav bar just above add comment. You might see the colour, you might not. So that is the start of it, but I need to put some items in, and what I want to put in is sort of the view page and the clear page on my nav bar, on my navigation bar. So that's what I'm going to add on next. So this is just basic HTML, so I'm going to indent it, and I'm going to say that it's an unordered list UL. So this is a HTML comment. So if I go back to the Bootstrap, we go to HTML tutorial, and if we look for lists, you'll see that we've got something here called an unordered list. Okay, versus an ordered list. An ordered list gives us numbers, unordered list gives us bullet points. And this is the kind of list that we're going to use, and the element is called UL, an end UL, and each item is called a list item, LI. And so there's a list item called coffee, that's the end of coffee, a list item called tea. We're going to use that for our menu. So unordered list, and we're going to have an end of the unordered list. So everything between these two will appear on the menu. So I'm going to indent a little bit. Now, before we go there, we need to give the style to the list. So we're going to say that the class is equal to, and I'm not going to explain this, it's just navbar nav. Okay, so that gives me the style for my listing. So if we save and go back to our Twitter page and refresh, there we go, we see nothing at all at the moment. So the next thing we need to do is actually put some items on the menu. And if you remember when we looked at the HTML, it was a list item, and then whatever it was, and then the end of the list item. That is a menu item. So what we're going to do for our menu item, we're going to have two. So instead of just rubbish, well, let's have a look at what the rubbish does. There we go, HHHH. What we're going to do is we're going to style it. So first of all, we're going to say that the style for the list item, class is equal to, and in quotes, the nav item. So whatever style the nav item is. Let's save that and refresh. There you go. Absolutely no change whatsoever. But what we want, instead of HHHHH, we want this page that we had here, view.php. And it's going to be a link. So I'm going to put these on separate lines. Let's delete that first. I'm going to put these on separate lines so that I can have a link in here. Indent it, and a link is an A for anchor and an end A. So that is a link. What goes between the two is the word we want to appear on the screen. So let's save that and refresh the page, and you'll see view pop up here. It's not a link yet and we can't click on it. All we can do is highlight it because we haven't given it any attributes. So we need to say that the class, the style, is a nav link. So it picks up the style for a nav link. So if I save and refresh that, there we go. It's just made a little bit of a change here. It's moved it in. And then we need to say where it's got to go to. So our href, hypertext reference, is equal to, and all we need is our view page, view.php. So if I save that, and again refresh the page, this time view, you might notice it's now turned a light blue. When I go over it, it goes dark blue. So it's an actual link, and if I click on that, it takes me to my page. So that's the first part of my menu. This really is making this section of the page unnecessary, so we'll be able to get rid of that. Before we go there, we'll just quickly finish off another link so that we can run this clear. So again, if I copy these lines, Control C, and paste them, that's going to give me another link. So I'm going to go back to the start of the line, paste it in there. I don't need to change any of these. It's still a nav item. It's still a nav link. Instead of view.php, we need it to go to clear.php, that's this file here, and instead of the word view we need the word clear. And I've quickly made my second link. So again, if I refresh my page, there we go, and this time when I press this button, let's take a look at the comments view. We can see we've got a comment there. Now when I click this button, it should get rid of it. All records have been deleted successfully. This time when I click on view, I have no comments. So that's working really, really nicely. In the next video, we'll just finish off, well actually we'll do it pretty much in this video. Just really need to get rid of the clear part, the view comments. So all we need to do is highlight the whole form and the horizontal rule and press delete, because we don't need that button on the form anymore. So if I save that, go back to this and refresh the page, we've no longer got the view comments because we've got them in a menu up here. So we want to do that on our pages that we're going to play with, have menus which are going to navigate us around our website.